Welcome to Wisdom Era online classes. I am going to take English language literature class for you. Why I have used the literature means you might have know that we can speak fluently in English, but we cannot read fluently English. So I stressed that word literature. Okay. Before going to our topic, I like to ask some questions to you. What is education? Where you get educated? You know that already. Where you get educated means your answer might be schools, colleges or universities and so and so. But do you think is it education? What actually the meaning of education? And is there any difference between education and complete education? Yes, there is lot of difference between just education and complete education. So, our Swami Vivekananda says that education is the manifestation of perfectness which is already in the man. Okay, education is the manifestation of perfectness which is already in the man. Means already there is some skills in every human beings that should get perfect to lead their life. That is called actual education. So that is called complete education. Means education means not only taking marks or grades or ranks from the universities. It is just to fill complete human qualities in a person. Okay? It is to fill complete human qualities to a person. Why I have said all these things to you means in your English literature first prose there is one person by the name C.F. Andrews. He used to explain his experience what he have felt in staying one of the ashram in India. Okay, he was an England person but he stayed in that ashram for one day. Still, he experienced very peculiar things in his life by only staying in one day in the ashram. This is about first prose, that is a day in the ashram. A day in the ashram. It is written by C.F. Andrews. Okay. Let us know more about C.F. Andrews through your textbook. Open your textbook. I will read it and you should go through that. Prose, first, A Day in the Ashram, written by C.F. Andrews. C.F. Andrews, Charles Farrar Andrews, 1871 to 1940, was an English priest of the Church of England. You see here, C.F. Andrews means Charles Farrar Andrews. His full name was Charles Farrar Andrews, and he born in 1871. He have died in 1940. He was an English priest of the Church England. He was a priest in the Church of England. Priest means here, he used to do some prayers, just like a father, where we are going to sing some songs in our temples, like that. He was one of the priests in England. He was an educator and Indian freedom fighter. You see, he is not only a priest, he was engaged in Indian freedom struggle and also was an educator, means he has some schools in his church. He used to educate the children who attend there or who get admitted there. And he became Mahatma Gandhi's closest friend and associate. You see here, in freedom struggle, you already know that there are two parties. That is one from Mahatma Gandhi and another one from Subhash Chandra Bose. Is it? But here, Charles Farrar Andrews, inspired by Mahatma Gandhi ji. He have become the friend of Mahatma Gandhi ji and he was the associate, means follower of Mahatma Gandhi ji. Andrews reveals his experience while he stayed in the ashram. Means in this prose, he used to reveal, means he used to recall his experience which he have felt in the ashram. Shantiniketan was founded by Rabindranath Tagore. It is a school with a difference where students learn with great joy. You see here, Shanti Niketan was founded by Rabindranath Tagore, and it is the school with a difference. What is difference? Yes, we shall see this in your prose. Where students learn with great joy, their students are learning with great joy, not with a fear. Okay. You know that Shantiniketan is founded by Rabindranath Tagore, but actually the Shantiniketan was founded by his father Debendranath Tagore in 1863. Okay. Later on, in 1901, Rabindranath Tagore founded another Shantiniketan, that is School Shantiniketan, where he used to educate the students. Here C.F. Andrews explains about the School Shantiniketan, not a ashram. Why I am saying this one is, Debendranath Tagore, when founded in 1863, it was just an ashram. Means everybody visit there to get the spiritual peace, and everybody used to meditate there. But in 1901, he started one school there with only 5 members as students. Rabindranath Tagore's son was also a student there. After that, it goes on continuation in the school. Charles Ferrer stayed for one day. Let us go through your first paragraph. Look at your textbooks. Words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan. Our own poet and teacher, whom Vikant Gurudeva has named it in his song, the darling of our hearts, and it is worthy of the name. All who have visited the ashram, old and young alike, have felt its inner beauty growing more and more upon them. Just see, words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan. Means he is saying that there is no words to say about Shantiniketan. That was such a beautiful thing, such a beautiful place the ashram was. Our own poet and teacher, whom we call Gurudeva. He is referring here Gurudeva to Rabindranath Tagore. Has named it in his song. In one of his songs, he named the ashram as darling of our hearts. You might have heard this word, darling. To whom you were called darling? Who is remembering again and again? Who is very nearest to our heart? Is it? So, here he refers ashram as darling. Means it is darling of our hearts. Means whoever visit there, that will be the darling of their hearts. Means it will get remember again and again. They will never forget the experience which they have felt in the ashram. Okay? All who have visited the ashram, old and young alike, have felt its inner beauty growing more and more upon them. Means just see, he is saying about inner beauty, not the external beauty which he have felt. Okay? You just think inner beauty means whoever visit there, they will get pleasant. They will get peace of their mind just because of the inner beauty which is present in the ashram. Okay? Next, we shall look on to the second paragraph. If I go to describe to you one day in the ashram with boys, that would perhaps best bring home to you its inner beauty. Means here also he is saying about inner beauty. He is stressing the word inner beauty just because he is not saying about the external infrastructures. Okay? If I want to describe you, means if you want to describe the one day which you have stayed in the ashram, you have to bring back the inner beauty of that ashram to your view or to the light. Okay? Long before sunrise, like the birds in our own Armuki groves, our boys are awake. Long before sunrise means you know that we are all get up at 7 or 6:30 like that. Here he is saying that long before sunrise means before sunrise, that maybe at 4 or 4:30 like that. Before sunrise, there the boys are awake just like the birds in our Armuki trees. Means you just see. In the trees, the birds used to start singing some songs in the early morning. Is it like that? Here also, the boys, especially boys means you just think it, the ashram is completely filled with boys. It is totally only for boys, not for girls. Okay, just like our Gurukula and Agraharas in our ancient systems. The choristers are the first to rise and they go around the ashram singing their morning hymn. Just see here, the choristers are the first to awake. There are so many boys in the ashram, but the first awaking boys are choristers. Means there are some troop of boys who used to sing melodious devotional song in the early morning. They were the first to awake in the ashram and they go around the ashram by singing that song. You can hear the voice in distance drawing nearer and nearer, and then the sound dies away as the choir passes on the other part of the ashram, and then again it comes nearer and nearer. He is explaining the beauty of the singing. You just imagine yourself when you are going on a road, if there is some tractor which is passing away from you, if it has been recorded with tape recorder or it has on some tape recorders like that, if you heard a song which is very pleasant for you, you are just tapping your foot or nodding your heads. Is it like that? Here, when the boys are awake and they go on singing the devotional song around the ashram, if they are nearer, it will be very pleasant to us, and if they are going far away from us like this, again the sound will dies away. Again if they come nearer, again from the back side, again the sound will heard by the students which in the ashram, and again it goes on dies away. Okay. The beauty of the sound in the silent morning air and the sense of joy and reverence which it brings gives peace to the soul. Just see here, the beauty of the sound in the silent morning. The beauty of the sound in the silent morning means before sunrise it will be very calm, it will be very silent. But that time, if they start singing the devotional song, it feels very pleasant to our sense. Who hear that song will get very pleasant. And reverence, here reverence means respect. It brings some kind of respect in our heart towards God, and it gives peace to our soul. Means it gives very peaceful mind. It gives very pleasant morning to the person who is stayed in the ashram. Okay. Okay, my dear students. In this class, in 2 paragraphs, I have said about the morning things which had happened in the ashram. What he had felt in the ashram. C.F. Andrews had felt all these things in the early morning. Let us see what happens after that time. Okay, in our next class we shall discuss about after the